Good morning, everybody. It is August the 4th, 2015. Time to get rolling for another fabulous trading day. Not much in the way of overnight news. China imposed more restriction on their stock market. This Chinese economy is built on centralized control with corruption with all the corruption that goes with it, and debt. And the stock market, I believe one of our markets gained 100% this year, and they're worried about a little bit of selling. But it is a house of cards, and economies are fragile. They're easy to break. They're hard to build, and you can go in and destroy anything quickly. It takes a long time to build it up. I mean, your life, your education, and economy, etc. And China's walking a very, very thin rope. Kind of new at this game. We do have some news that will impact today's trading. Not much news out overnight other than China's factory orders, and it's called at plus 1.7%. That number normally would support equities, and it would, if it does come in at that level, it could hasten the Fed's ability to raise interest rates. Again, I don't see how they can raise interest rates meaningfully given the government debt. I think the Japanese experience is most likely, but we'll see how it plays. So don't know if it comes in at this number, if the E-mini will rally. Historically it would have rallied, but with central bank markets being driven by all central banks right now, good news might be taken as bad news. We have Gallup Economic Confidence survey that'll come out this morning. Don't know what the numbers are. We have IBD, TIPP, Business Optimism Index at 48. So both of these numbers could come in lower than forecast, as could factory orders. So once this factory orders is out of the way, then I think it gets down to the direction of the E-mini. And if the ES continues to sell, then that should support this market. Right now you can see volume is moving lower in the distributions. I think we're going to get a retest of the 16 to 20 area. Like to buy closer to 16 than 20, but we got to get through 20 first, and 1920 is pretty good support. So sell 1's 27 to 31, sell 2 is 3 to 7, buy 1 is 17 to 21. Would like to get it done closer to 17, and then buy 2 is 13 to 9. Knob spread held up pretty good last night. It's off a couple of 30 seconds, but that's not unusual in Globex. The option play yesterday was to the put side, that's how large, really large institutions, that's how they insure these days. And so it's, the market's high, they're going to lock in gains, so they buy puts. That's not to be unexpected. I think we're headed lower right here. I think our first little band of support is 57 even, this breakout, this G. So 1 to 5 will be buy 1, pretty darn aggressive. And in the breakout, 21 to 25, we talked about having to retest this level right here. And if that holds up, the market can trade higher. On the sell side, 19 to 23, leaning against this London high, sell 1. And then 31 to 03. Don't think we've got can break it out today without some major help from the E-mini, but so selling against 158 would be the second spot. Volatility's come in a little bit. Not looking at 2 to 3 handle days. We're looking at 1 point plus. Okay, gold again is not generating a lot of volatility nor a lot of interest. Central banks were the last ones that sold it, that took us below 1100. And the retail accounts out there, again, they're buying. So our 80.82 held up. We're at 93 for the overnight session high. So you can just tell that we've got a buyer in this 80 to 82 area, and looking at the structure up here, we've got a seller into 11. So first sell will be 94.96, stops above the overnight session high, then 99 to 01 for sell 2, and selling into a 111 even makes a little bit more sense to me. On the buy side, 85.87 buy 1. Then we're back to our 80.82, and the 80.82 area, the 111, 111.05 is where this market. I think you really have to think in those kind of terms and be patient with this trade to have it develop and put some meaningful money into the account. In a trading range, don't see that changing today. Okay, Greek banks limit down for the second day in a row. Depositors are pulling their money out as fast as they can and by as much as they're allowed to. The European emergency funds for Greece will fill the pipelines to the banks. They got to keep the banks going. Even when they were having trouble with all the talks, the emergency lending to Greek banks was going on beneath the surface. So the European Union is well aware that they need these banks to do what they hope to do. Even Greek banks. So we've got a seller into the 110 area. And then we got high volume at 40, so then we'll jump into 40 to 50. Could be pretty easily get up there quickly. On the buy side, we have a buyer at 50. And then we'll make it 25 to 15. This market will react to the news. If our factory orders numbers come in as forecast, this market should sell. $108.50 to 109 is where the support has been. 111.50 is where the seller, the longer term seller's been, and they're working this trading range pretty well, pretty effectively. Crude oil, a buyer beneath 45.50. We haven't made it for stops below 45 yet. I still think we're going to get stops below 45, but it hasn't happened yet. 44.75, 45. Now when you see something where they don't get down to a round number, an obvious number, they stopped at above 45 late yesterday. The overnight session rallied up, so people are willing to be short, but they're not willing to push the envelope. And this spill came from 55. That's about a $10 profit for the longer term player. So 46.75, pretty clean break to the buck. 46.40, 6.25, sell one. It's tight. It's close to the market. 46.50, 75, sell two. I think the long-term direction still is lower for crude. Okay, the E-mini is trying to sell. Only China's market was up significantly in the overnight. And Europe was off, probably being impacted by what's going on in Greece. You know, from the European side, how much money they have to pump in to keep it going, and will it ever end? Yeah, I would not doubt that the Ukraine is imploding. Civil war is what they're talking about over there. So our 80 to 82 area is going to be buy 1. And 75 plus or minus will be buy 2. On the sell side, I'd like to try for stops above the overnight session high. Sell 1. Put a question mark at 90. It really gets down to the factory orders number. The 99 to 01 for sell 2. So we've got news, factory orders, plus 1.7. Could come in lower than forecast. Gallup, no one will read much into the Gallup numbers, but if the economic confidence is going down, that's the economy is a state of mind. It's another piece of the puzzle. IBD tips at 48, if that could come in lower than forecast. I mean, yesterday what was done to the coal industry. I mean, we've had 2 major bankruptcies in the last couple of weeks in the coal industry. Our government, our agencies are way out of line. They are picking the winners and losers economically. It's never been done before. And I just think that the weight of all this screwing with the economy, all these laws being passed, you know, if these people were serious about clean energy, they'd let nukes develop. Coal does have a natural competitor called natural gas, and it's real easy to ramp up incremental demand through gas turbines. It's a cleaner fuel, no doubt about that. And so the natural direction of the industry is towards natural gas anyway. But if they really wanted to solve a bunch of problems and they were really serious, then they would allow nukes to be built. So, and that's not happening either. That's it. Take me probably 20 minutes or so to get everything up and posted. I will see you as soon as possible. Like the short side and the E-mini better, but if we can't take out 80, 82, and depending on the factory orders number, we can trade from the long side too. And I like the short side better because of the continued deterioration of economics and the economies around the globe. In a bit.